Hello everyone, this is Jenn, only, right now. Just gonna be here all by myself today, which I'm fine with. Garthe had a prior commitment today, but also like on the 9th I'm not gonna be able to stream, so I don't know if we'll have a replacement streamer or not, so I decided I should just go for it today. So hello everyone. Just going to put out a couple discard as well. Hi Vape. what's up. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, please. So today we're going to start the first orai. Not the first. The sixth orai, which is the U29. I believe that's the correct one. Alright, so we caught up with all the Ranma games. So we're going to just continue catching up with Orai and Wakajishi until they're all caught up and we have full playlists for both. And we will find something else to cover after that. But we have lots of lives coming up, so hopefully that will end up being like the main focus at one point. Probably we can just like shift to that eventually, but it's nice to have this where we meet once a week and speak. So I will just start the video, and I'll talk a little bit while they get the players introduced, and I'll also like do my postings during that time. All right, so let's get it going. Japanese commenters were Akira Wakutsu, Yumi Otani, and Yamato. So the past Orai winners. Sumiko Shiba won the last one that we watched. It was Hiroka and Tate and Sugawara, Miyanari. So first player is Tomoe. I think it's Tomoe. It could be Chie. I'll double check that. Sekiguchi. Chie. She has an ameba blog. Which is a little bit retro. I feel like. And Saki Kimura, who was in 8th place going into the semifinal. A lot of these players you're also going to see in the Sankei Shimbun Cup, which we're covering on the WRC channel. There'll be six broadcasts, so 3 days of broadcasts in September, which is a lot. Also, don't forget that the WRC channel will be streaming the WRL Major at the end of the month. So this weekend. This weekend coming up. I think it'll be this looks like Haruka Kagaya. Made it to the semifinal in 10th place. So it's just gonna be a chill day. I can oh, no sound from we can't play the Japanese sound, so the sound is just me talking over. I believe I'm live, right? You can hear me. I am playing in the Shimbun Cup this season as well. I'm playing for Team WRC. It will also be I'm sorry, Mio Nishida as usual, and then also Amy from WRPM will be playing. She's not going to be playing until like much later in this season, but we will have our first ever World Reach Pro representing. You were on mute. Okay. Yeah, we don't have the Japanese sound, so I thought maybe that's what you're talking about. But cool. It's a you problem, and you fixed it. Then that's awesome. So good to have you here. L3 is it I3 or L3? I don't even know if you can type like the correct one. Like if I would be able to tell what the difference is. I guess if you type in lowercase for an I and uppercase for an L, then I could tell if it's L3 or I3. I imagine it's supposed to be like L-E-A-T, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. Lots of guessing work when it comes to reading things for me. Big L, okay. I'll go with L3. And Shibasaki. I wonder if that's Kiyomatsu. So the problem is that we have like over 1,000 members on JPML, like just in Japan. And I don't get to meet all of the kohai anymore like I used to. It's really hard to keep track of everybody. It's Kiyosue. And Shisaki is her first name. So Shisaki Kiyosue. She got the recommended spot. And I'm not sure exactly how that works with the top 8 for Orai and Wakajishi, but they always have like a recommended spot. So I guess it's 7 maybe win. Not 7. It would be like 15 or 14 or 15 advance to the semifinals. And then somebody is recommended, and I'm not sure how they get the recommendation. I can look that up for the future. That's a good thing for me to know since we cover like all of these, but I don't know right now. Like, hey Jen, do your job. But I've got lots of jobs on lots of hats, so. Oh. So those are your 4 players. I actually don't think I know any of them personally. I've probably played with them in Women's League, but I feel like I don't know any personally right now. I think probably Kimurasaki I've played with. Maybe more than once. Or at least seen more than once in maybe Sankei Shimbun and stuff, but way easier to get more hats than it is to take them off. That is so true. Especially in like the English Mahjong community. I feel like it's everybody has very limited time. And so if it's like the Japanese Mahjong community, there's always somebody like sitting there ready to replace you for things, but in the English community, not so much. It's much harder to get people to take things over for you, so. All right, so we saw Rei Kawakami made it to the best 16. Went to the 8. Haruka Kinoshita was in the top 8. Also Yua Kaga, who we've seen in past final tables. Mayu Sugiura and Ami. I think it's Kojiro. Asako. Yeah, it must be something like that. I'm sorry, I can't read every name. But we see how they won. So it looks like Kiyosue had a much smaller first place win, and Saki Kimura had a great showing in the semifinals. So you can use that to make your predictions. Gonna get right into play. We're only gonna watch one game today because this is a longer game and it's just Jen. I was debating whether to capitalize the J in just Jen because everybody knows that my nickname back in like I guess college years was just Jen. We had Hot Jen, and that was not me. And then there was another Jen, and she was just like so on like a different level that she didn't even have a nickname. She was Jen, and then we had Hot Jen, and then there was just Jen. All right, the name positions are a little bit off compared to we. Every time we stream a different like match, they have a different overlay. There's been a lot of overlay evolutions on the JPML broadcasts. So our first stealer is going to be Kimura. In the south seat, we have Shisaki Kiyosue. And the West Sea is Chie Sekiguchi. Yeah, that's a great question. Do you remember what we had last time for? So they switch back and forth between WRC rules and A rules. So let's see what they got here. We'll find out what the first reach or con. And Haruka Kagaya is in the west, the North Sea, so she'll be our final dealer. Why does it look like there's a period after Sekiguchi? Like, I don't have that in my... That's weird. Oh, it's 2 H's. That's fine. Okay. I'll fix that. There we go. I think evens for WRC. I mean, that sounds like a great guess. Okay, that's good enough. We can read the names there. It's a little bit tight on this overlay, but that's fine. So we have Kagaya winning the first. It looks like A rolls. No Uradora. So Kagaya will take the first win. Looks like she was asked to take her ring off. Oh, her bracelet off. All right. So it just looks like just reach. What was the Dora? Just reach. 1,300 points for Kagaya to start out the game, and we move right past Kimono's first dealership. All right, so now we know again. We have known this in the past. Evens are JPML A rules, the competition rules, and that's why you're going to see Kagaya keep a 9-pin over a 5-pin. So you're going to see a lot more like aiming for Yaku. So she's keeping that she was keeping that for potential things like Sanshoku, but decides to let it go to instead prioritize keeping the Dora when she got the 4-pin that goes with the 2-pin. I really like that discarding the 5-pin since you want to use either the Dora or get some points with Yaku. Whereas WRC rules, you might be going for more of just an efficient quicker win or quicker to reach. Kimura also holding onto that Dora triples up the 8-mon. Kyosei decides to keep the 3 just in case she draws another Dora. What I recommend for people to play A-Rules? A-Rules is really great practice for seeing and aiming for Yaku. I don't think it will help your games on like Mahjong Soul and stuff, unless maybe you get really to the high levels like Celestial and stuff. Hi, dude. But practicing different rule sets is great for different to like cultivate different skills. So I would say JPML A rules is really good for practicing to aim for certain yaku, seeing more yaku, building the hands instead of playing efficiency, straight efficiency. It's also really good for learning how to read other people's hands because you can see what kind of yaku they're going for and things like that. So if you can actually like look at your opponent's hands after each hand, like then I think it's really good for that sort of practice. I would say that things like Taiwan rules, and that's why Kiyosei kept that 3-pin. She got the 1, not the 2, but she can still accept one more Dora. And she's open-ended now instead of the middle 6-8 shape. Like Taiwanese rolls is really great for practicing efficiency because it's really just high speed, high speed. So you play different rule sets to cultivate the skills that you want in your main rule set. You got 2nd out of 4 in the interclub. Are your team dead? Oh, that's awesome. My team carried my carcass. That's awesome. It's so cool. And you have a club established now, so more to come. That's really awesome. I'm proud of you, dude. Nice film for Kagaya. This is Tenpai, and she's gonna reach. No Dora. She ended up discarding the Dora for the reach so that she can keep the open-ended 3-6 weight. I'm thinking maybe she thinks it's a good weight because she discarded the 5-pin so early, but it's still very close to Dora. If somebody is Tenpai, though, they might decide to discard a 6-pin. The 7-pin doesn't look quite as safe because her discards went 5-pin, 9-pin. We have a chasing reach from Kiyosue. Sekiguchi just 1 away. Ah, she's 2 away, I guess. So she's gonna just go ahead and fold. We're getting really close to the end of the hand with 2 reaches, so you don't need to push that. Kimura was the player who was just 1 away from Tenpai still, also decides to fold. So we have a 2-5-pin weight versus the 3-6-pin weight. I don't think it's likely Kimura will discard any dots. She's only got 2. And she has lots of safe tiles that are not dots now with that 9, so discard. Sekiguchi as well, no reason for her to discard any dots. I've been watching A-rolls most of the time, but I didn't know the advantage to practicing A-rolls. I mean, if you're going to actually play A-rolls, then of course it's good to practice them. But if you're a World Reach Pro and you're coming to Japan to play in the OE tournament or the Orai or the Wakajishi or something, then there's a lot of benefits, of course, to practicing A-rolls. But if you're not going to play them, then yeah, it's definitely great for learning how to build value. Because despite it feeling like A-rolls are not able to score very highly, we see lots and lots of Haneman and Mangan on the table in things like Pro League. So we ended in a draw in East 2, which brings us to East 3. Sekiguchi is the dealer now. Her hand is not very fast, I would say. Kagaya's hand is much faster and just got an open-ended in the Manzu, the 4-mon draw. I say Kiyose's hand is not fast, but it has the potential to be really high scoring. She's going to have to draw Dora for it. Sekiguchi's hand doesn't look fast or high scoring, and I think Kagaya's hand is the fastest here. We gotta work for it. You gotta work for the scores. Exactly. WRC rules, you can just reach. You can just reach for points. Easy game. It's gonna be a much slower game in A rules, so you have time to build things. And Kiyosei did get a Dora. I think every player has one Dora now. So Kiyosei cannot expect a second one for this hand. She's not going to stick around for any, like, Sanshokus. One day we'll see the elusive A rules Sanbaimon. Reach for the stars. I like it. I like that. Sekiguchi now just one away for all pairs. One away for all pairs, but draws a triple. The thing is, she wants to use Dora. I don't think she can realistically expect to pair up her Dora at this point. She can't go for Tanyao if she gets rid of the 9 pins, and I saw her fingers kind of go over there. So is she gonna commit to the pairs, or is she gonna go for a Tanyao hand? And I was wrong. I followed the overlay, and for a second it said Sekiguchi was dealer, but it was actually Kiyosei stayed dealer. I guess she was because she was Tenpai. So apologies for that. Triple up of the East for Kagaya. Tanyao maxing. I like that move because you can call, and if you feel like everybody is slow, especially in A rules, you can really get a lot of like 1,000 point defensive wins instead of folding. So I think she's kept that option open for herself. But instead she gets Tenpai waiting for the 3-6 mon. Doesn't need to call. And also we know that I always like it when people pivot away from the all pairs hand. Selfishly. Kage not ready to give up yet. Kiyosei really does not want to give up her dealership. I'm not quite sure what to do here. When you have that 3-6 like Suji, then it gets really dangerous, and it does deal into Sekiguchi. Tanyao, reach Tanyao Dora. A 5200. And now Sekiguchi will be dealer. The 5200 does feel very significant in these rules. It's not a monster hand, but it is definitely a good hand. Sekiguchi, already 2 sequences completed, 1 open-ended. Something that she can work with in the upper Sozu. Kimura's hand not quite put together, but looks like Tanyao. Kiyosei, also a much slower hand. Wow, Sekiguchi now has the Nakabukure, the bulging shape. Lots of options to Tenpai open-ended there. Or it is the 4 bamboo. Another Nakabukure shape is not quite as useful. It's the 3-4 for 5, the 1-2-2-3 Of course, only open-ended on one side, so you end up with a pinch on the sideway with 3 pane, which is there's already 1 out of. So it's a little bit harder to use. So if she gets to a position, like if she draws a 2 or the 4 bamboo, she might actually get rid of the 2 first because the 6 pane is going to be a lot more useful. And she's only keeping that in case she draws the 3 pane first. Like this. I think we'll see the 2. There goes the 2. So now I sticky one away really wide. 2, 4, 5, 6 of characters of Manzu and 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 of Pinzu would all make her Tenpai. Sekiguchi, of course. And she gets a 6. Insta reach, waiting for the 2-5 Mon. As dealer. Needs Pinfu, Dora. If she draws, it'll be 2600 all. See Kimura not quite folding, but choosing some safer tiles. Count, there's no 2 5s on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in people's hands, and she has 1 in her own hand, so 3 tiles left in the wall. There's another one, just 2 left in the wall now. And this is when you're holding it like this. The thing is, Kimura has 2 Dora. But she does have the winning tiles both in pairs. And when you have the tiles in pairs like that, and it's Tsuji and you don't have anything in between, you can't see anything in between, it's pretty scary. Does look like they will deal in easily, and hopefully, if she Tenpai, she might have to get rid of that 2 Mom, because when you have 2 Dora, it's really hard to fold here. If you only have to push 1 dangerous tile. There's another pair. Maybe she'll go for all pairs with the Dora. A little bit easier to find safer tiles than she will not. She'll just keep that 7, 8, 9 locked in. There's another 5. Fits perfectly into Kiyosue's hand. So I think we're down to 1 left in the wall. There's 1, 2 left, I believe. Is Kagai is folding, but she's actually, I think, just 2 away. Maybe 1 away. She just has to fill in some middle weights. There's the last one for Kaguya gets it, and now she's definitely folding. So we will not see. And wonder what Kimura will do if she. Good feeling for Kaguya. Good thing she already folded, because this would be a little bit tempting to just push the 2. So if Kimura gets a 1 or a 4 Mon, what will she do? Kyosei completely out. I don't know if there's enough for her to draw the 1, 4 actually. 3, 4, 5. I think they're pretty tied up in people's hands already. So we'll end in a draw, just 1 player Tenpai. Sekiguchi will continue as dealer after taking 1,000 points from each player. So we'll have another ace 3. Sekiguchi's hand not so put together, but she does have the double ace pair of ones, and a completed sequence. So she can definitely call this hand to Tenpai. Dora is the 3 bamboo. 3 so. Kagaya also has a pair of white dragons. Not Kagaya, sorry. I think it was Kimura. But lots of pairs in Sekiguchi's hand. Will she go for pairs or will she pull in the double east? Kiyosu's hand, too many blocks. Alright, with us 7s, so fill in. Now we'll definitely see not going for all pairs. So if the east comes out, I think we'll see a pawn. But first, a south pawn from Kimura. That's not her seat one, but she has the white dragons and the green dragons. So very easy to backdoor into a Yaku there. We saw Kiyosue just discard the red dragon. There's one out already. She chose not to pawn it. And she had a pair, and she's gonna let that go. Remember we said she had too many blocks. So she's going for a Pinfu hand instead. The east is floating in Kyosue's hand, so once she gets the Tenpai, she will discard it. Will that be too late for Sekiguchi to go for her win? And will Sekiguchi pull in one of those ones beforehand and try and backdoor into the double east Yaku? She pulled that? She does not. Sekiguchi's gonna let that go. She's gonna try and make a block somewhere else. She doesn't want to discard the white dragon until she's Tenpai, but Kagaya gets there first, waiting for the middle 8. There goes the east. Double east is pawned. Or 1 away. It would have been Tenpai here if she had kept that 1 mon. Kimura decides to let the white dragon go. Was discarded by the dealer after the reach. That's Tenpai. For Sekiguchi. Waiting for the middle 4 so. Dora is a 3 so. So you have 2 Tenpais, both middleweights right now. Middle 4 so and the middle 8 pin. And the middle 8 pin is starting to look better and better. It was already like a Suji trap with the 2 5 pins discarded. Second one reach. Now, if it's a Suji trap on the reach declaration tile, it generally does not look safe. It looks like a trap. But we're seeing a lot of 7 pins come out on the board. And the 7 pin is safe, so we might see the last one come out at some point as well. Kimura gets one of those 8s, one of the winning tiles, holds on to it. I only see 2 of the 4 so's in people's hands, so I think there's 1 left, or there are 2 left. One of them goes to Sekiguchi, so she'll win another hand as dealer. Double east with a Dora. Take 2,000 from each player plus 1 continuance. What a lead to start out this first game. She feels solid. Sekiguchi, our dealer, once again. We have 2 completed sequences and 1 open-ended in Kagaya's hand. A little bit slower for Kimura and Kyosue. Dealer Sekiguchi has, well, it looks like it's going to become a Tanyo hand. Some open-endeds, middleweights as well, but looks like it's going to be callable, at least. Double gutty, 4-6-8 shape. Another sequence completed for Kaguya. She does have that side weight in the bamboos. Floating Dora also for Sekiguchi. But with the Tanya hand, I mean, she could end up with Dora Tanki or... That's Tenpai, I believe, for Kaguya. Waiting for the side 7, so... Really nice feeling for Kyosue. Sekiguchi keeping some extra tiles. I guess Kyosue's maybe, I'm sorry, Kagaya's maybe hoping to make something open-ended. She doesn't have a Yaku, so she can't win right now as is, unless she draws the winner herself. Kind of thought about maybe a Sanshoku for a second there. But Kimura gets the Tenpai and reaches with a Pinfu hand, waiting for a 6-9. And this is why Kagaya did not reach. You don't want to be reaching with no other score. A very low return. Reach is going to be high risk in case somebody like Kimura comes in with a reach after. Now, Kiyomizu also reaching with a poor weight, but she does have a Dora, so it's worth a little bit more than Kagaya's hand. And Kagaya will just take this opportunity to let go of Tenpai. Maybe not quite folding. She could end up Tenpai still. Really nice feeling for Sekiguchi, but she already decided to fold, so she'll not be tempted. Kagaya now actually sticky one away. So a 6-9 mon and a 7 mon weight, so 7-8-9 all deal in. The 6 is discarded by Kyosue in Tenpai. She had the worst way, and for once, open-ended beats Penchan. Feels like it doesn't happen often, but statistically it's supposed to happen. This time it does, so Kimura gets the win. Reach, Pinfu, Dora. Not quite an outside hand, not quite a Sanshoku. So it should be 3,900 with a couple of continuances. And we'll move to Kagaya's dealership. Really great shapes for Kimura. Feels almost like a reward. Or an uncharted territory. What do you mean Penchan loss? I've never seen that before. History in the making here on the JPML English channel. Kimura's hand just looks so fast. So many tiles advance the hand. But Sekiguchi's going to fill in the 1-2-3 shape with middle 2. And Kagaya also just pairs up the double east. Except for there's 2 on the board already, so she's not going to be able to pull net. 1 away for Sekiguchi now. Not great weights. What a fill-in for Kagaya. I mean, the double east is already out on the board. She's going to let it go. Gives her no value at this point. Sekiguchi has 3 norths, and she is in the north seat. So that will be value for her. Kimura is just one away from ready. Looks like she can maybe go for some sort of Sanshoku as well. We see a chi from Sekiguchi for Tenpai, waiting for the middle 8 so. No Dora in her hand, so just the north. She draws it, she'll go up a fu, so she'll get 400, 700, but stands now. Just a 1,000 point hand. I think, wait, did she pull? No, she chi'd, I believe. I believe it was a chi. 4-5. 3-4-5 and Pinzu for Sekiguchi's call. And Kimura is still sitting on that sticky one-away shape. She had the best hand going in. But Kagaya was, sorry, had just reached. I missed the reach Sumo 1 Dora. 2,000 from each player. So she'll be dealer again. We'll have another East 4. And she has put herself above 30,000, put Kimura below 30,000, and is working on catching up to Sekiguchi now, here in game 1 of the 6th semi-annual Orai tournament. Kimura, very early pawn, first discard pawn of the Green Dragon. And then we have an immediate pawn as well from Sekiguchi. Is it pawn or chi? Oh, that was quick. I didn't even see if it was a pawn or a chi. It came from Kyosue. Just a second. So Kimura pawned the Green Dragon from Kaguya, the 9-pin. I still can't see because we didn't see her hand yet. I imagine it was a pawn. By Sekiguchi from Kimura, from Kyosue. We didn't get to see the hand starting out. We have a chi from Kimura for the 3-4-5. She's one away from ready. Kimura is in the south seat. That's her south one. We have a pawn from Sekiguchi with the 3-mon. For Tenpai, waiting for the 3-pin and the 7-mon. So now I really think it was a pawn and she has Toi Toi, White Dragon. Toi Toi, all triples. Really fast calls for everybody. Lots of short hands here. And Kyosei looks like she has a hand with actually plenty of value. Either going to be a flush or maybe a pair of Dora, but she's not going to get to Tenpai before everyone else, and Kagaya reaches as dealer, waiting for the 7-mon. Pinch on weight, but she's using the dealer threat, I guess you would call it. And 2 of those 7-mons, of course. This is Tenpai for Kimura. She discards the 6-mon. She has the Green Dragon Yaku, so she's alright. So 7-mon in Sekiguchi's hand means that Sekiguchi gets the priority. If 7-mon is discarded, she gets to take the win with the head bump rule. It means Kagaya has to draw the winner herself. But, of course, there's 2 of the 7s in Sekiguchi's hand already. Kimura has one here. She lets Tenpai go. So I think 1 7-mon left in the wall. And Sekiguchi's just decided that she is not going to even think about folding or giving up this hand. Head bump always makes me sad. Me as well. Me as well. I'm generally on the losing side of that when I have Baimon. The Kimura has pretty much given up despite getting 2 Tenpai once. But Tenpai again for Kimura. Actually, I think she has a green dragon, so she can win. 3/6 Mon weight. I feel like she was giving up, but it ended up pivoting. As Sekiguchi gives up with the Forso draw. I thought she was committed to it and she was going to discard everything, but it's too late. There's too many Suji that have passed already. She's not going to take that risk. And the 7 Mon deals in. Because Sekiguchi gave up her Tenpai, Kimura's 7 Mon deals into Kagaya. What a turn of events. If Sekiguchi watched it all happen, she would have had the priority with that 7 Mon win. Yes, Ben, welcome, welcome. It makes for better drama. I'm in favor. And it really becomes an interesting rule in this case when the head bump would have happened had Sekiguchi maintained her Tenpai. I don't know if you heard me just say that. I said the head bump. I was reading Espen's comment. I don't know if that was heard, but head bump makes for better drama. I'm in favor. And it's also really interesting in this case when Sekiguchi would have got that head bump, except for that she did not maintain her Tenpai. So Tudora in Kimura's hand. Of course, Kagaya is the dealer again in East 4. This is the second continuance. What a fill-in for Sekiguchi. I think we might see her go for a flush. She does have the open-ended in the Sozu. I think in WRC rules you don't go for a flush there, but with A rules, you gotta build value. We might see that. West, of course, is not value for her. So if we see the red dragon pair up in Sekiguchi's hand, there's much more likely chance that we will see a flush. I do think Kimura was kind of hoping for a 789 shape. She's not ready to give up on it yet. All pairs maybe for Kyosue. 1, 2, 3, fourth pair right here. But so many open-endeds. She had already discarded the one so she'll go ahead and let that open-ended go. I would not call that full commit to the all pairs hand though. She's still got too many open-endeds. I might see the flush pivot here. There it goes. There, of course, is the 9 pin. I did mention that there was a pair of them in Kimura's hand, which has since become a triple. She degeared of the 8, so she's not going to be able to get the 789 Sanshoku anymore. She's just going to have to go for a reach at some point. 2 red dragons in Kyosue's hands. Sekiguchi's not going to be able to use them for her flush. But an East pair up might be useful. It's going to try and make it look like she's Tenpai already with a 3-mon discard, but she wasn't. But the East Poland will make her Tenpai, waiting for the 6-9 mon. Of which there are 2 in Kimura's hand. And she discards one of them. Let it go for the open-ended, and we'll have East and a flush for Sekiguchi. 3948. I think it's still only 3900. Sekiguchi locks in that lead as we move on to South 1. Means Kimura will be our dealer. They had the camera on Sekiguchi for a while. Also, not sure why it was blinking there. Something wrong with the tape, but it's alright now, looks like. Wow, Sekiguchi's hand is really bad this time. Just gonna try and keep really as efficient as possible. Nothing efficient in her hand, except for that when your hand is all over the place like that, everything sticks. So you end up getting really like efficient draws. And she's got now 2 pairs of wins, and they're both value for her. Sekiguchi is in the west seat, and south is the prevailing wind. So we might see her end up in a flush. She's got everything is bad in the suits of her hand. A little bit faster hand with Kimura and Kyosue. Kyosue's not even gonna mess around with that side weight. Just let it go. And everyone has pretty slow hands this time around. Alright, is the Forso, and Sekiguchi's going to keep the option to use that. Oh wow. Pairs of 3 different winds. And now you pull in every wind. There are 2 easts out already, so it's unlikely to end up in a 4 winds Yakuman, but there's one left in the wall still. She could pair up the last one. She's gonna start with a chi, so this is definitely gonna be a flush. And answered with a pawn of the 3-pin by Kimura. Remember, every win that comes out is going to be pawned by Sekiguchi. The thing is, nobody has wins in their hands. They're all in the wall. More flexible one away for Kyosue. No, for Kimura, sorry. Wow, triple up of the West for Sekiguchi. So if she gets to pawn, does she take Tempai or does she move to one away for the Yakuman possibility? And if you're talking about just efficiency, then, and she's in first place, then it's an easy decision, but I don't know, when you're that close to Yakuman, do you let that chance go? So we did see Kimura get to Tempai. Did not get that 5-6-7 Sanshoku that she was going for. So she's waiting for the middle 6, so. And Sekiguchi a little bit on alert. Kimura is the dealer. So all players are going to be wary of her calls. Nice film for Kyosue. Now, if you go efficiency, you get rid of the east here. But she'll get rid of the 3. She's not giving up on the Yakuman dream yet. There's 2 easts on the board. It looks like the last one's in the wall, and she's hoping. Now the east goes. She's not ready. She did discard the 7 so twice, so I don't think she's expecting to use it, but she doesn't want to discard it to Kimura. But now that Kimura's let it go, she can let it go as well. Kimura upgrades her weight to a 3-6. And Sekiguchi switches that 7, that now safe 7, so with the Dora. Now Kimura's not waiting for the Dora, she's using it in her weight. So she's waiting for 3-6, so. Sekiguchi is out. She does not want to go head to head with that dealer. Or with this dealer calls, rather. So you see everybody discarding safely just to try and get to the end of the hand without dealing in. I didn't count how many 3-6s were left. See, now there's 3 here in Kyosue's hand. 1 in Sekiguchi's discard. And 1, of course, is the door indicator, so we have 3 left in the wall still, which is a lot when you get this late. So we'll end in a draw. Only the dealer. Kimura is Senpai. She'll take 1,000 from each player. And we'll have another East 1. Okay, excuse me. I'm back. So Kimura, the dealer, just took 1,000 points from each player. She is in 3rd place with 23,200. Remember, in the A rules, we have a floating UMA, so anything above 30,000, it's going to be a positive score at the end of the game. Anything below 30,000 will be negative, so it stands right now. Sekiguchi and Kaguya both have positive scores. Kimura and Kiyosue both have negative scores. I think Kaguya's hand is going to morph into a Tanyao hand. Kiyosue looks like she's just gonna look at the pairs at this point. Thing is, I see Kaguya at some point releasing at least the 9, so maybe getting rid of both the 8 and the 9 when things stick on the other side. But we have a Tenpai from Kimura first. As dealer, waiting for the 1-4 pin. Red Dragon did not triple up. Was not called for pawn. So will serve as a pair in Kimura's hand. Sekiguchi's hand is really poor right now. I think she's fine just folding here. Now Kaguya has so many of the 6-9 Tsuji in the Sozu. I really feel bad about discarding a 9, so in that situation, the 8 so is a little bit safer because she has so many of those Tsuji. She can also see one as the door indicators. She lets the 8-so go. One for pin weight for Kimura. I don't see any value in the hand except reach. It looks like it's 2,000, maybe 1,000 all if she draws it. And Kagaya, save 8-so again. And you see the power of the dealer, especially in these A rules, when it's so hard to make up points later. You really work to avoid dealing into the dealer. Especially in Sekiguchi and Kagaya's case, they have enough points. They don't have to mess around. Kagaya, though, is back to 1 away. The only problem is we have these Doras floating in everyone's hands. Especially Kagaya's here. White Dragon also not on the board yet. Looks kind of dangerous, but you see how many triples and pairs she has? She's running out of safe tiles. She's run out. She has no more safe tiles. And the thing is, if one of these passes, then she'll have 2 more safe tiles, but they don't look great. And Kimura draws the 1 herself, so she'll take 1,000 points from each player, plus 100 for the continuance. And we'll have another South 1. So Kimura, once again, dealer. Not a great hand this time. Lots of Monzu, those are great, but she has so many disconnected tiles in the other suits that she's gonna have to do something with. Kyosue's hand looks like Tanyao. Smells like Tanyao. Famous Nirvana song. Smells like Tanyao. Sekiguchi maybe looking at the 3-4-5 Sanshoku actually. Still potentially there. Sekiguchi, of course, has this pair of Souths. That's the prevailing win, the round one. Really put together hand for Kagaya now. She just needs a couple Dora, and she's all set with a really high scoring and hand with good shapes. Another pair for Sekiguchi now. She's 1 away for all pairs. So that's a 6 pingo. That means that she actually can still sort of look at the Sanshoku, look at all pairs. It's the ultimate hedge discard. I think Kyosei is kind of shifting towards a flush hand. Triple up of the North. Sekiguchi's still not going to rule out all pairs. When you keep one of the triples and you're going for all pairs, then your hand loses out a lot in efficiency, but she has lots of open-endeds to make up for it in that chance in the event in case it doesn't become all pairs. Like if she can get the triple of the south, that's going to be her value. There's one south on the board only so far. Don't know if she's going to Poland or not. I kind of feel like I would Poland in the first place position there. Kagaya Tenpai, waiting for 6-9 Monzu, I think. Triple up, so it's a 50 fu hand if she wins on a discard. The thing is, I feel like she's... she wants Dora, I think, or she doesn't want to have to discard Dora if she draws it. And she has a Yaku, so she's chosen not to reach here, and I think it's a very, like, A-rule thing to do. Also, lots of 9-mons on the board already. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the 9-mons out on the board already, I think. And so it's not a great weight, actually, for Kagaya. She can win on the 6 if it comes out, but maybe like a Shabo weight would be better for her at this point. Look at the 7, 8 discards as well. 1, 8, a 2, 8s. But Kyosui gets to Tenpai first and wins from Kimura, I believe. I was counting tiles and I missed Kyosui's Tenpai. It's on the Dora. So it was a Shabo. Wait, the 4-pin and the 9, so. It really is painful for Kimura. It's like an extra 300 for the continuance. That perhaps was not paid. Could be that it was, she declared 7,700 when it was actually, was it 8,000? I think it was 7,700. Just double check. It was the Green Dragon poem because the 8-pin was also a triple. She probably said 7,700 and it was actually 8,000. Because she had enough fu. 4 for the Green Dragon, 4 for the 8-pin, and 4 for the 9, so win. So of course in A rules, they use the same scoring as what you're used to online, no kiriage. It's just the raw normal fu score until you get to Mangan. I think Kagaya is looking at Kokshi as she kind of moves towards a flush in the Sozu, but she hasn't discarded any outside tiles yet. And we'll see here if she decides... Okay, she's still hedging Kokshi. With the 1-pin discard, it means she gets rid of a pair. She had another pair with the Souths. So I think we might see a Kokshi run here. Wow, there it goes. 2 away from ready. 2 Jenn Shanten for Kokshi. For Kagaya. Kagaya. I keep changing the vowel of the second syllable. Sekiguchi's hand is so far away and so poor. You really just feel like folding already. Hey Gio, welcome. You have a Kokshi, 2 away from Kokshi here on the table. The Kimura's hand also 2 away, much more efficient than the Kokshi. She, of course, 13 orphans. That's not helpful, but the red dragon will be safer than the inside tiles that Kagaya has, so she chooses to hold on to it. She already has her pair in the south. I mean, now she can choose if she wants to use the south pair or the red dragon pair. Sekiguchi is going for pairs at this point. And Kimura is tempai waiting for the 3-pin. She does a Tsumogiri reach. Maybe hoping to put pressure on the Kokshi hand. And it works. It kind of works. I mean, Kagaya is still 2 away, so she hasn't gone backwards, but she's definitely on high alert for the reach hand. Sekiguchi was kind of looking at pairs, but I think she's just completely out now. In first place, she doesn't want to challenge anybody. Feels like Toitsuba situation. Yeah, I don't disagree. Kagaya has given up, so the pressure on the Kokshi hand with the reach did work. But Kyosui has 3 Dora, and she is tempai now, right? She's got a middleweight. Oh, wait. She's waiting for the 2-5 so? I said middleweight. Wait, did she? So we have the middle 3-pin weight, and we have the 2-5 so weight. And the 2-5 so weight has not reached. But the 2-5 so are not in the reach player's discards, at least not yet. Of course, if they go into the discards now, they'll just deal in. But I feel like a lot of times you're going to choose to not reach there. Well, a couple of reasons she might choose not to reach is one, she has enough points already with Mangon. Hanging Dora 3. And Kimura draws it first, so 3-ping. Nichitsumo Tanyao Dora. It's going to be 2,000, 3,900. 2,000 from the non-dealers, 3,900 from the dealer. Very much needed points. But disappointing for Kyosue. She loses her dealership and she did not get that Dora 3 that she was. Yeah, it was a Tsumogiri reach. And I think it was a reach to put pressure onto the Kokshi hand, and it worked. So we're now in South 3. Sekiguchi is the dealer. 1 away for 2 away for Sekiguchi. Decides to just lock in that 3-sided weight and hold on to the other tiles as sort of helper tiles for other parts of the hand. Two away for Kyosue. I hear people say things like we can wait 1 turn to see if it comes out and then Tsumogiri reach. Yeah, we'll say that. I've heard it called the North American reach because a lot of players in North America have done that historically. Kagaya went away from ready and locks in her pair in the Manzu, the 5-mon pair. Alright, that's a fill-in, so now Sekiguchi just 1 away. 1 away, she keeps the 5-pin. If something sticks to the 5-pin, I think we'll see her get rid of the 1-3 so with the middle 2 weight. Kimura gets the 7, locks in the 3-sided weight. Wow, Tenpai for Sekiguchi, she does not take the middle two so weight. Instead, she takes the 4 connectors and keeps the 5 pin. So very, very efficient sticky one away. And we might see a 50-10 reach if she draws the 2. Kimura still one away. Kind of looking at that full straight. Nice stick for Kyosue. Well, no, Kyosue is just one away for like meets Tanyao Pinfu, hopefully Adora. Kaguya also one away. Pinfu. Kyosue locking that 3-mon pair in. So there's so many one away hands. This is Tenpai now for Kimura. Kimura in the west seat. Now 3-sided wait for 369. So, and that's Tenpai for Kaguya. She will not reach. Just open-ended wait. She's got Pinfu. She just wants to end Sekiguchi's dealership. And Kyosue now Tenpai reaches with her Pinfu hand and Adora. She gets the Adora and reaches. So reach Pinfu Dora. Just a Pinfu. And just a West. 3 Tenpais. So 369, so not a great weight, and she decides to fold to the reach, or at least Mawasu roll a hand over. Oh wait, Sekiguchi was, I'm sorry, she was inside weight, a middle weight, so it was not Pinfu. Reach Tanyo Tsumo Dora. So that is going to be just shy of a Mangan hand. No Kiriage. So Sekiguchi takes 3,900 points from each player and continues his dealer. Not a very fast looking hand. Wait a second. Is that only 26? Did she not reach? What did I miss here? Oh, she didn't reach. I'm sorry. She was just... There was only one reach on the board. That's what I missed. So she had Tanyao Tsumo Dora 26... 2,000 all. 2,000 all, plus there was a reach stick on the board. So she went from 44,000 to 51,000. My favorite move is Reach Furiten Chi Toitsu. That is a move that I have only seen maybe twice. Wait, what was the violation I missed? Uh-oh. I was like looking back on the... What happened here with the high pie? Oh, from the live wall, I don't think there'll be a warning. You get a warning when the Rinshan is knocked over. Just one tile from the live wall is usually not a warning. So if it's the Rinshan, the supplementary tile for Con, then that's going to be a warning, and it will be mixed into the dead wall and replaced with a tile that nobody has seen. We already have Tenpai for Kyosue. North is her seat wind, So she has no Yaku. She can't win on a discard here. Kagaya has called already. I missed what the call was. When we were talking about Hal's being knocked over. It's a 3-6 mon wait for Kyosue. Did anyone see what that call was? It looks like a poem, but I can't tell. It must be maybe the West poem. It's like quite early in the hand, so. Oh, it looks like South Pole. Okay, sorry about that. Kagaya has the South Pole and it's double South for her. She still went away though. She's got a couple open-endeds looking for where that pair is going to be. Kyosei's still Tenpai. And Sekiguchi went away. But let's a sequence go. Maybe she's so far in first place she doesn't want to bother trying to win this hand and try and just lock in first place for the game. Maybe they're worried about the double South Pole. No reach on the board, so that's not worrisome. And Sekiguchi redraws the 2. And she'll keep it this time. Keep it this time, but she's out of the game. Sekiguchi, she's just ready to end this hand and go to the last stand and end the game. Now that's a potential Sanshoku, and that will induce a reach from Kyosue. Waiting for the 3-6 mons still. Lots of 3-6 mons came out on the board in the meantime that she wasn't able to win on. Also, mostly 6s came out on the board, and she wants a 3, so that's actually, she doesn't mind so much that the 6s are out. There are 2 3s in Kagaya's hand, 1 in Sekiguchi's hand. I don't think there are any 3s on the board. Lots of 2s, no 3s, so I think we have 1 left in the wall. Wow, what a fill-in for Kima. Kima's not going for it anymore, though, and doesn't have enough time to Tenpai, even if she were. We'll end in a draw. Kyosue, the only player Tenpai. 2 players Tenpai. I'm sorry. Kagaya did get to Tenpai with her South, double South hand. I think she was Tenpai for a bit there. I'm so invested in Kyosei's hand. 2 players Tenpai, and that will bring us to South 4. Kagaya will be the dealer. The final dealer. She's going to want to try and rally to take first place away from Sekiguchi. Sekiguchi's going to be going for just any hand to try and end the game as soon as possible and lock in that first place. Kima's hand looking very slow. Kyosei also looking very slow. Gonna go for a Sozu flush? Um, what a villain for Kagaya. She needs that as dealer. The floating 8 Sogo. It looks like Kagaya might have the fastest hand here. Sekigushi's hand is not terrible, but it's definitely not put together enough right now. Nice stick for Kimura, pairs up the 7 pin. I kind of feel like Kiyosei could go for it. Was she thinking about a call? I've been watching a lot of foreign content lately. They have a lot of time, so it's making me want to learn Japanese now. I mean, a lot of people have found it really easy to learn Japanese in this day and age. There are a lot of materials available online. I do not buy that it's one of the most difficult languages in the world. You ask Japanese people, and they'll say it's the most difficult language in the world. I don't think so. I think maybe, I don't know. Lots of languages sound way more difficult to me, but also it's exposure, and if you have like the kind of foreign language brain, I feel like I don't have that brain. Like I have lived in Japan so long I can understand Japanese, but I don't just like pick up languages easily at all. A lot of languages are overrated in difficulty. Like I would find languages that have a lot of conjugation, like exceptions, to be really difficult. The only difficulty in Japanese, in my opinion, and I still struggle with it a lot, is the multiple readings for kanji. So the multiple readings, like I feel like I would not be able to learn a language without being able to read personally, because that's a big way of how I learn. Kimura calls still really far away from ready though. It's not like it was a call to like get closer to ready necessarily. So I've studied Chinese for a long time as well. And for me, Chinese, the difficulty is listening. And I would find it really hard to learn Chinese without learning how to read as I go along, because I'm very visual in that way. So Japanese also, I have spent a lot of time reading and writing. And yeah, I think that kunyomi, onyomi, the problem is that there's no specific rule. There are some very loose guidelines that are sometimes correct, but there's so many exceptions. But as far as grammar goes, pronunciation goes, I find it to be one of the most logical languages. Kan of the 5 mon, Kimura is still 2 away from ready. And this is Tempai for Kagaya with a Sanshoku potential. Wait, she doesn't take it. That was Tempai, right? She's really afraid of Kimura's calls, I guess. That was a really... It's not super high scoring. But she could have discarded the 2 pin or the 8 pin, and I guess she found them both worrisome. Kimura's not even Tenpai yet, and there's no reaches on the board, so I think she could have. It's probably a little bit of lack of experience in reading discards. It's like she's just happy with taking the second place. Are you talking about tones for Chinese? You can mostly ignore the tones. I think, like, for Cantonese, my understanding is you can completely ignore the tones. There's no additional Dora because it's A rules. So we do end in a draw. One player Tenpai. So Kagaya did get back to Tenpai. Really interesting Tenpai because she let Tenpai go, and like I said, I thought she was worried about Kimura's calls. But she did get back to Tenpai, and so we'll have one more South forehand, one more all last hand with Kagaya as dealer. Yeah, I think if you're practicing speaking a lot, then you're going to get those tones from experience, like speaking and listening. As long as you have like your ears open to, which is something that gets really difficult in. The thing is, poor habits are really hard to break when you're learning languages. And so I think the biggest habit that I see in Japanese learners that's really hard for them to break, even like people who have been speaking Japanese for years and years. When you have what do you call it? Keioshi. An adjective, and then you want to say because it's something, because it's big. You say oki kara. It means because it's big. If you want, but a lot of learners, Japanese learners, will say oki dakara. Because dakara is taught as the because conjunction, but so it's really hard for people to stop saying that da. And it's just a habit. So I think that when you're learning Chinese, it's good to review the tones so that you don't get in the habit of using the wrong tones. But when you're speaking and having conversations and practicing, then it's definitely better not to worry about that kind of stuff. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's fun to make really funny mistakes, I think. Which is why, like, going out for drinks and stuff is often a really good environment to practice language. And of course, everybody understands it. So, it just depends on what your goal is, right? Your goal definitely does not have to be sound like a native speaker. There's no reason that that has to be the goal. If you want that to be your goal, then that's, things that you have to think about. But nobody needs to sound like a native speaker to communicate. So I have a lot of pairs in Sekiguchi's hand. It does look like a pairs board again. Lots of pairs in Kakaya's hand. She's gonna refuse the all pairs hand. Lock in a sequence. We have Tenpai for Kyosui, waiting for the 4-7 so. She has the red dragon. So let's see. Kyosui is in the west seat, so she has west and the red dragon. No Dora. But it will move, it will be bumped up to the next foo. Still one away for Sekiguchi, waiting for all pairs. She wants to use that Dora in the all pairs hand. Yeah, so dakara used by itself is fine, or if you use it with a noun, it's fine. It's only with adjectives that end in E. You don't need the D. And also like verbs. So if you say like kire is a confusing one because it does end in an E, but it's not an E adjective. So let's say shizuka. If you say shizuka, that's like a noun adjective. So it's an adjective, but it's treated as a noun. So you do say dakara, shizuka dakara. But if it's like so it's the na adjectives and the E adjectives. These are all things that I've studied and they're all in my brain and I don't think about them anymore because I've created these habits so I can just speak. But yeah, it's really fun to go over these sort of language things like a formula, like a math formula. So Kimura looks like she's maybe out or going for pairs. Yeah, lots of vertical stacking for sure. We call hands with lots of pairs and triples vertical hands, and tenpai for Kimura waiting all pairs hand with 2 Dora. And then hands with lots of sequences we call horizontal because they're like spread out or stacked. So the 6-pin weights for Kimura. Hi tips, it is just Jenn. I debated making the just capitalized or not, since it is my nickname. Could be nickname, it could be description. And the 7, so we'll deal into Kiyosue. She was first to tenpai. She was tenpai for a long time. She did not get the triple of the red dragons. So it's just going to be west only. But it does move up, so it'll be 1,300 instead of 1,000. And that will be it for game 1. Uh-oh. Is it for game 1. Sekiguchi will take first place, Kagaya in second place, Kimura in third, and Kiyosue in fourth. So Kiyosue was able to win that last hand, but not worth enough to move up. Benevolent dictator? I'm just Jenn. No. No, ain't no one gonna listen to me as a dictator. Come on now. I can't think of any motivation people would have to just do what I say. Yep, there's Garthe not here, Nelson. He had a prior commitment. He did tell me about it, and I forgot. I started thinking Toitsuba is a real thing because at first it sounds somewhat superstitious, but when I really study what's coming out of the wall, you start to notice. Yeah, I don't think that's meant to be like superstitious. It's more like an observation of how the tiles are being distributed. So, of course, if you have a lot of pairs and triples, then that means other people won't have those and they'll have the pairs and triples next to them, right? So, I don't know. I don't think of it superstitiously. It's kind of a statistics thing. It's not necessarily easy to use it as for predictions, but Jenn the just. Oh, I see. I'm just in my, I'm benevolent because I'm just. That's great. When things don't connect, the potential is there. All right, well, that is going to be it today. It was a bit of a longer game, so we're just going to do one. We'll do 2 games next week. Garthe should be here next week. The week after that, I will not be able to come. So I haven't decided yet if we're just going to scrap the... I think on the... Stay on the 9th. Because we'll have 3 streams the week before, I think that we'll have to maybe just take the 9th off. And then we'll be back for the week after that. We have lots and lots of streams between JPML English and the WRC channel. Next month is going to be crazy busy. Also, don't forget to watch Skabon International on the Mahjong Jenn channel tomorrow, every Thursday at noon JST and 8 p.m. Pacific. At first, it sounded too simple because the tiles are distributed like this. Things will always be, but when you see it trying to come together for others too, start thinking twice about. Tips was also talking about Toidsville on stream. Tips likes all pairs, though. Alright, thanks, dude. Thanks, Gio. Thanks, Tips. Thank you, everybody else. Vela. Garthe is censored because he's not here. Thank you, Vape. Okay, so I'll see you next week. I'll see you tomorrow at Skabon International. Y'all are going to be there, right? You promised, right? So follow the Mahjong Jenn channel as well. Also follow JPML English if you want to watch our paid streams, which we will start having at least 2 per month, probably 3 most months from September. Then become a JPML superfan. It's cheaper now than it used to be. Prices went down a bit if you're not paying in yen. So take a look at that, become a member, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.